A very good evening to all. It's always my pleasure to kick off this informal discussion on what you call it behind the circuit breaking scene, right? Behind the circuit breaking scene. So this is of course all about circuit breaker. Okay, of course, in line with the circuit breaker virtual run we just launched, an initiative between the of course Orange Room events and our Self Ideas Room. Okay, we kickstart this, and we take this opportunity to do up informal discussion, inviting you guys, our ambassadors and supporters, for this circuit breaker discussion. So, yep, I'm going to kick off this. Briefly, actually, the intent is very informal. And basically, it is to hear out from each of you, if you can, that this period of time being circuit breaker, and of course, you're doing all kind of workout other than running or, of course, swimming is not possible. Any other workout, and then during this period, perhaps I want to kick off with Stephen. Would like to share with us the few
Yes.
challenges, the experiences this period, and maybe we get some pointers from him as a coach, maybe. Right? Okay. Oh, all to you,
Oh,
man, Stephen.
challenges. I think there are many challenges now. We are not into our normal life and normal lifestyle, all right? And everyone is all in a lockup. We have to mask up, and even going out to for a run at a park is a challenge, especially when it's not during normal daytime. So what I would suggest to my athletes now is try to wake up early, do the run, and get it done and over with. All right, because when you run at a park connector early morning, I do my run at 5 a.m., 5:30 at latest, and it's quiet. I can have the lanes to myself, and there are only a handful of people. I wouldn't say there are none, but there are only a handful of people. All right.
But Stephen, I mean, just curious. You run at 5 a.m., but usually people when they run at 5 a.m. before they go to work. But now there's no work, right? Circuit breaker. But
Yeah,
you still wake up at
but
5
no,
a.m.
but most other people, other than the real runners, they will sleep in because they have the whole day facing the family. Most of them will sleep in. But the thing is, I've made some observation. If you go to the park connector now at about say 7:30, 8 o'clock, it will be crowded. And even in the afternoon, the same thing. If you go at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, you'll be crowded. So it's hard for runners, if you really want to train, to go out during your normal workout time to train. Um, and of course, running, as I said just now, everyone is expecting everyone else to put on a mask. And when we run, and most of the time we run around the neighborhood, all right, we cannot travel beyond, or at least we are not allowed to travel beyond our neighborhood. And during the walking phase, let's say you finish a run and you're walking home, sometimes you have people, all sort of people watching you and looking at you because you're not masked up. So that is another set of challenge, all right? And you probably want to put one mask in a Ziploc bag, stash it somewhere, and bring it along when you run. Um,
No, I think this Stephen interesting. I think I guess a lot of people, they are being responsible. I think that's a big topic right now in social distancing, right? At least being
exactly.
responsible about running. But maybe I want to spin another side of the story to Gloria. I'm not sure, Gloria, you don't usually run that much. Is there, during circuit breaker, do you do more home workouts? How do you usually spend your day? Maybe just give us a little bit.
Makan.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Alvin. So when I was in my high school time, I actually run every morning. So like 800 meters in the school at the time. That was even before the breakfast. So you got up and you go to the playground. So that's the routine of the day. But then I realized I think I'm not really like a runner, and the Singapore weather sometimes doesn't really work well on me. And now during the circuit breaker, I mainly do my home exercise, like at home. So I got out my yoga mat and I will watch some YouTube videos, some like stretching, some a little bit like different yoga postures. So I try to do around 10 to 20 minutes a day. And I agree with Stephen. Normally, I find you set a routine well. If you do it the first thing in the morning, it's better for me to keep it to the routine. If I leave it to later the day, you're like, oh my God, too tired, too much work. Okay, I do it tomorrow. And then you just kind of slip it off. And I also personally find it challenging if I'm going to run outside with a mask on it. It just feels a bit too much. But at home, at least, I don't have to wear a mask and I can open the windows. So now in the circuit break, this is my routine. I try to go back to my yoga mat and do my stretching and the yoga for 10 to 20 minutes every day. Yeah.
But you can run without a mask, right? It's okay without a mask while you're running.
If you're running, yes.
Yeah.
If you are running,
yes.
yeah. And then
So,
later
I mean,
you have to put it back.
Maybe just a time for us, because I know a lot of us, they are very active runners, like professional runners like Marcus, who has been training. But because there was the saying, right, behind circuit breaker, you can either get really fit or get really fat, right? So I guess the people here are going to which direction? Maybe anybody who's going the really fat way.
Anyone?
No, I guess not, right? So most of us, and it's interesting to see how this period actually motivates people to get active once again, right? Is it, I don't know, maybe I can throw the question to maybe either Chris or I'm not sure, I haven't met you, Robert, but maybe you guys can share a little bit. Why do you think this period help people to exercise? Is it because they're more free, or they're more exposed to content, or they're more structure or events, virtually events that we have? I don't know. What do you think? Why people exercise at this period? Maybe Pris, you can start. Pris, you're on mute, I think.
I can't hear her. Maybe Robert lah. Robert.
Robert.
Robert is a half Ironman, right? Not a full Ironman now. He's training for full Ironman, I think. Robert, are you there? Can't hear him. Robert also can't hear him. Probably is mute also. No, can't hear him. Okay. Okay, never mind. Robert, we can't hear you. Probably got to do some adjustment.
Maybe Jenny, why don't you share your view while they sort out their audio?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
So for those who are not on the speaker thingy, just tap unmute on your phone. It's easier on the phone than the laptop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, run it now. Welcome.
I have looked at the research in regards to people increasing their workout, and it's simply because we have so much time on our hands. What else are you going to do? So worldwide, they actually did a survey for people who exercise only one time a week before COVID. They've increased their exercises by 88%. 88. So there are more people, and this is why there was such a huge trend on Facebook where people were complaining. The real runners are noticing the non-real runners taking over the park connectors. But to me, I think that was a great, it's a great thing to happen because we want everybody to stay healthy.
Yep.
And, you know, as a physio coming from healthcare, I find it to be an excellent way and an excellent thing to see, a trend to see that something good is coming from COVID, and the fact that we have more time on our hands and to build routine and to truly understand what is happening, to take hold of the time that we have. And from both Stephen and the other lady before, when we talked about exercise, building that routine is so important. Whether it's with COVID or without COVID, when you build that routine, that's just the start. And with routine comes commitment. With commitment comes goals. So those three things are so important. If you don't have a goal, you're not going to continue to do what you got to do. And honestly, for most of us, our goal is to stay fit and not get fat. That's why nobody's going the other direction, Alvin.
No, I mean,
Okay.
that's great, Jenny. You brought about having the right time. Maybe it's all about discipline and also about people getting together. I know we have Nick Ranakau. I mean, so some of you see his post.
Maybe Ranakau, yeah. Ranakau, we'd like to hear from you. He was
Yeah.
the one who initially did a 10-kilometer run with a mask on. I wonder how he did it. Maybe you share with us, Ranakau. Ranakau? Can't hear you, Ranakau.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
You're on mute, right? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Ranakau.
Yeah, so running with a mask during that time was a bit of a novelty. And I was wanting to try just a little trial to see how it really feels, because I never run with a mask prior to that. And not just that, because recording a video and being able to share on public so that other people will be able to have some insights before they run with a mask on the pros and cons of running with it, because it can be fun, but it can also lead to very something that's very serious, especially for those that have asthmatic problem. After running with the mask that the government gave us, which is the cloth mask, right? I never wanted to put it on again because it's really very difficult to breathe, especially when the whole thing is very wet. You don't know whether you want to breathe with your mouth or your nose, or you can't really develop a breathing rhythm, although I still finished the 10-kilometer lah. Then after which I tried with a surgical mask, and it was way better. Yeah, even running, I believe surgical mask, if I really wanted to, I'm able to run a half marathon with it. But in my opinion, I feel that I would rather not run with a mask, because the experience of running in a mask, right, it is not really, it does really hamper my training of being able to run with a lower heart rate. As with a mask, I realize my heart rate increases by around 15 to 20% at the same pace.
That's scary, man.
It's interesting and at the same time scary.
Running with a mask will be a hypoxic training, so of course it will
No, but
Coming from a
even
push
running with a
perspective,
mask, no, but running with a mask, when it becomes wet, it doesn't serve any purpose. You become actually a higher chance of getting sick. So don't run with the mask. It's not something that's
this is our official speaking, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
There are masks that, okay, the surgical mask and the mask that we have from the government, they are not meant and designed for running. There are special masks that are designed for running, and you probably want to use those masks. But even then, those masks, when you put them on to run, it's not going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
But what's the purpose of the mask, right? I mean, if you're going to use it for hypoxic training, that's a whole different thing. But if you're using for COVID, it's not going to work if it becomes wet.
Yeah.
It doesn't at all.
Yeah.
So the advice is
So
run without a mask. Yeah. Yep. Correct. So okay. What about Priest? Yeah, Priest, are you on already? Your speaker. It seems that there's an icon says it's mute. No, we don't seem to be able to hear you. I can't. Robert, you can hear? Or you can hear us, Robert? But when you talk, we can't. Okay. Perhaps we get Marcus to share with us. Marcus is one of our elite runners, right? So he got to train almost every day, right? So maybe tell us the challenges during this CB period, Can't hear you also, Marcus. I think you got to unmute it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, can hear now.
Can I? For me, is now this COVID-19 coming out already, right? So for me, is to optimize my training. So how to optimize and neutralize my training is I don't go out to run because I got a reason for that, because I got bronchitis and I also got I also got a lung infection last July. So I was admitted to hospital for 3 weeks. Then I cannot run for how many weeks? So I'll come back again. So my secret to training all this, right, is to do static training, by do circuit training like lunges, by doing like high knees. I even run upstairs from 30-story up down for about 1 hour with a full battle order. You know, army full battle order. They use the back heavy load.
Minus your M16.
So that's my training, how I run. Then I'm quite sick of doing staircase training. So I no choice. I just want to go one time, try out my 2.5 run, and I hit 6.1, 6.1, 6.2. So it's like
2.414 under 7 minutes. That is
under 7 minutes.
super good time, you know.
Yeah, I know. Because like, my mentor is telling me, say that, hey, I really desperate to want to win, the kind of winning mentality. You need to have that in order to pursue certain goals. So I want to pursue goal that one time big run, saying that, hey, I just had to do sub-7 because I need to prove to myself that even though I'm old, I still can do it, you know. So I just do one time under my GPS, try one time. Then I like understand, oh, this is good.
Is that a Singapore record, yeah?
No,
Is
it's
that
not
a Singapore record?
record.
No, okay.
It's not.
Okay.
But based on what I heard from some of the army friends, by the way, the army record, I'm not sure lah, but I heard from my friend itself is 6:42.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, 6:42.
In my time, unheard of, 6 plus.
6 plus, but it's 6:42. But it's not verified by either IDF or SWA. Because if the SWA going to make this kind of event for 2.4, of course, we will set record for it. But unfortunately, you don't have a record. So I just based on the army record they have set from there.
Good. Yeah. So I suppose you have no problem, you know, when this 1 meter safe distance, distancing between one to another, you should not be behind people. People, you are always in front of people, because those people at the back will have to face the people in the front. A bit of danger for the person behind.
When I pass people, then they will say, "What the hell? How come it's going so fast?" You know. Then I think some of the people say, "Well, look at me behind. Oh, it's fast. So you always give way for me."
Yeah, because you're always in front, so it's safer in that sense. In the sense, safer.
After that one run, I go back to my own training, doing my staircase running, speed up, down, with my full battle order, and so on. So that's the secret of like doing my isolation training and doing like this circuit breaking moment.
So you don't need Steven to give you more rigid training. Yeah.
Training program.
Coach Steven.
I'm open to options.
You can perfect your swimming strokes.
Wow.
And
no,
but even at this moment, the main thing about training is not to keep it at the peak level, because you don't want your body immunity to go down. When you train at a high level, it's going to be very taxing for the body, and the immune system will go berserk. All right.
So that's an interesting point, right? I think, Steven, you brought an interesting point. A lot of people who has not been running or not fit are starting to get out, right? So I see some of the people, I mean, from young to old, I started to run again and try to push themselves. Yeah, it's a good sign that their mind is starting to get them to move. But to Steven's point, their immunity, they don't know what they're hurting their body, right? Yeah. They really don't understand their body as well. So it might have a negative impact, right, to them. So actually, when I was running, the other day along the canal, I did share, some of the people say, you know what, try to calm down. They were like panting and try to go a little bit faster and try to complete more. I said, no, take it easy. It's a long way out, right? So don't really go all out. Maybe share a bit of maybe I want to hear a little bit from Chris, you or Robert. You guys are your mic there.
Yeah, Robert is also another hardcore one.
Yeah,
Robert.
So maybe Robert, how do you think we can help these people that start to get active during this period to stay active? What do you think we need to do?
Okay, I'm not sure. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, now
Yes.
can hear you. Now can hear you.
Okay. Okay, basically, I think start slow, definitely, because these people have not been, like, for those people who have never been working out, right? Too fast, too soon, you just do more harm than good to the body. So simple as just doing brisk walking will be just fine as well. That's the start. So even some people can just do walking around the house, just part of being staying safe and staying at home. So that will help too. So I mean, that's what I would suggest for them to do. Maybe just do a bit of some HIIT exercises at home. Don't it be too long, just a 7 minute or 10 minutes workout kind of thing. That will just get their body jump started. So as they extend the duration, they can continue to proceed to do running outdoors if they want to. So that's how I feel that how they can start slow.
Yeah. It's a good thing, I think, generally. Maybe I'll throw this to Eugene. Eugene, right now, I know he's been starting this home-based learning for kids within 3 to 12 years old, getting people active as a family. Maybe Eugene, share us a little bit more. What are the feedbacks you got from this exercise? I know swimming lessons have stopped, but you know what response do you get from the parents, from the kids during this exercise?
I think one of the key things that this is different because the target audience are kids. This is something that they never experienced before. I mean, it's like a video game. You know, the key thing of doing this simple exercise is easy for them to follow, and it's very fun and engaging for them. Moreover, we package it in such a way that they challenge their parents to get them to do small things. So one of the things we actually do is actually just simple, just one basic exercise a day. Like what you all say that you don't jumpstart, because kids naturally they're more active, but of course at home there's a lot of other consideration that we're going to do. So the response will be very, very good. I mean, like sometimes the live workout we got about 50 over to actually just to come and jump a little bit. They don't really follow the exact thing, but I mean they're kids, but they really enjoy the session or that. And it's a very good response for the kids. It's a very good engagement to get them more active in a different setting rather than the other things.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I think if people are getting active, I think that's one step to living better and living healthier. I think that's certainly an important part, and we cannot exclude any group of people right here. Maybe you want to hear from Naomi or Chris or DG.
Naomi seems to be all about the video.
All the video.
Naomi, it seems to
Can
be all
you guys
just
hear me?
Yeah, Chris can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, Chris. Yeah, Chris, are you still running?
Okay.
Are you still running this period,
Yep.
Chris?
Yeah,
okay.
I still be running. I think I guess nowadays, like with the circuit breaker on, it's like I'm trying to avoid the crowd, so I'm actually running like later, like maybe instead of those, so that I don't need to wake up so early also. I think maybe
You don't meet Steven.
8 a.m. Yeah, maybe more like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. because I've actually realized it's hot at that time, yeah. But then I've actually realized that like at the park is actually less people as well.
Yeah.
So in that way, then like I can practice social distancing and avoid the crowd, and maybe at the same time as like I can get some heat training too. I think I'm okay like to with the heat as long as it's not like a long run.
Yeah.
So a long run, no choice, have to wake up super early.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Always something in my mind. Because when I run, I'm not a regular runner. I'm a swimmer by background. But when I run, I need to warm up. I cannot just put on my shoe and then go and run, right? So when I warm up, I'm static, right? I'm not moving. I'm around. Maybe, maybe Runner Cow, maybe for your side, I see you doing a lot of workout. What kind of quick warm-ups that you usually do? You know, during circuit breaker, we try not to be so static. We want to be socially distanced. But I cannot just hang around and warm up near my lift and then before I run. I need to move around. What kind of workouts do you usually do before you run? Any warm-ups you recommend?
Okay, my warm-up is very simple, but nothing. I never do static. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I never do static warm up, and normally before I start my actual run, I will run at least 500 meters to 1 kilometer of super slow jog to get my body warm up a little bit. And
my 500 meters.
For myself, if I run too fast from the start, right, I also will puncture from almost immediately, which should have the danger of this possibly destroying my whole day's training. And my few favorite warm-up exercises, like the most common one, like butts up, the knees up, just jogging on the spot, especially during traffic light. If you don't wear masks, police will catch you if you are not exercising. So I will nowadays, right, if you are static, you'll feel the fear of being photographed here and there. So nowadays I will do a lot of static exercise while if I'm stuck at the traffic light. So yeah, so that's my one. And I leave the static ones to the end of the run where I do all my stretching, like quad stretches, like hamstring stretches. Yeah. So that's what I do normally.
Yeah, that give I mean, let's raise one question. Yeah, you can don't wear your mask while running, but you're at the traffic light. If you don't wear your mask, you will face the danger of being stomped. I don't know. Yeah, that raised this question.
People got eyes to see. I mean, if you are sweating, then obviously you will say, "Oh, he's sweating, he's running out," kind of thing. If he's not sweating and he's not wearing mask, of course people will storm you out. That's what I noticed.
For sure, but some people are overzealous. They just see someone without mask, they start their camera on.
But if you already dress the part all in your running wear, then I think people is less inclined to do that.
Yeah, I think they see the impression by when you're single or anything that means you're running out. So
now I know why Jenny is in the running wear all day long. So she's always safe.
I think in general now, I don't think people care. As long as you're sweating, they don't care if you're kind of still.
Jenny misses most in her training is without her training partner, even a lonely run every day.
That's not true. I only send out the training program. All right, that's the only part that I'm responsible for. I don't run with my athletes. I can't catch up.
Your athlete, you're running with your girlfriend. That's two different parts.
I can't catch up. The best I can do is to start the run together, and that's it. And probably she'll meet me back home.
No, I think Stephen, you brought a good point. You give programs to your athlete, you can't see them nowadays. So under this circuit breaker, how do you really manage your athletes? Maybe give us a little bit of do you talk to them every day? Do you ask them to send you their Stravas or whatever?
Yes, well, I actually don't see my athletes every day, even during peacetime.
Yeah,
I train them because they are kind of an established runner. They don't need me to be there to look at how they run. But my athletes every day, every one of them, I talk to them, they communicate with me, they send me their run outcome by Garmin or whatever, all right? And I will scrutinize and review the run with them. Not only the run itself, but we'll talk about how they feel and whether the live is affecting their performance, or even I have even advised some of the athletes, because like everyone else, sometimes some of the athletes will run like at 4-5 p.m. when it's crowded, and I will tell them to change the time. So I will observe an overall factor of all the run. It's not just the run performance itself.
Well, lucky I'm not a coach under Stephen. Wake up at 5 o'clock. Well, hang. I cannot wake up. So, right. Maybe it'll be just, I think one interesting topic I saw the other day, and I read a lot of device, there are people buying a lot of electronic devices now. But I do strongly believe that a lot of people don't know how to use them properly, right? So maybe Jenny, do you train with devices? Do you track your heart rate?
Yeah, I
Any
do.
simple layman tips for the people? Maybe like myself, who don't really use a lot of measurements. Well, how
You
do
do
I?
need to use your measurements.
I
You
I mean
do
I do.
actually.
I
You
do.
do. If you're going to pick up running like a real runner, you should. And we all are runners. As long as you're running, you're a runner. I don't care how many times a day. But yeah, I mean, technology's out here for you. And if you're running with your phone itself can give you information, right? But I do use Garmin and I do use the heart rate. And the basic stuff that I always tell my clients is always look at your cadence. And your cadence is given to you, which means steps per minute. How many times does your foot touch the ground? And that has been correlated to a lot of things that you can do for preventing injury as well as reducing the injury. So the magic number is 180. It's the same as cycling, 90 per leg, so it's 180. So what you do is you look at that plus if you are a new runner, you do want to look at the heart rate to see if you're within decent range. And the guide is to, if you are new, you start at 10 minutes at a time. And you should always run at 3 times a week. Anything less will actually increase your chance of injury. So I do look at the heart rate. I look at how hard I work, and you want to kind of like look at your heart rate and compare it to your own perceived exertion. It should sort of match. So if I am doing my intervals, I should be at zone 4, meaning I can't talk. I can only speak one word at a time. That's it, right? And if I can talk in a sentence, that means it's too easy. So usually my heart rate does actually show that. And your heart rate actually does tell you at what stress level you're working at. Sometimes if you don't get enough sleep or you're stressed with work, your heart rate goes higher than what it should be. Or the humidity can be too high. That's another one too.
Good. So I want to spin a little bit back, right? I think a lot of people got their monitors. They read a lot on the internet. They have their zones. I'm sure they haven't tested their leg. They don't really know their zones, but they know roughly 135 in zone 2 heart rate. They got this kind of information online, and because we are all at home, we read a lot, right? A lot of information. Some are true, some are fake news. But one of the things that I think is quite eminent, and I have observed that people don't really know how to recover, right? Do they eat well? Do they sleep well? How much more do they sleep? If they have a bad night, do they still go for a hard zone 4 run? I think that's really an issue here, and I'm really praying that during this circuit breaker, those weekend warriors or people who don't really usually exercise, do seek help from the experts like you guys, Marcus, Steven, Jenny. You guys are all all experts. You guys know the stuff. So I see a lot of webinars and things happening behind this circuit breaker, and I am really thankful. There's a lot of free share of information to date. But I guess what we really could not ignore is all those guys who started running during this circuit breaker, right? So I urge a lot of you guys like me, Kepo guy, I see people panting there. I say, guys, slow down. Don't worry. The world is going to be here tomorrow. Just be progressive, right? And move forward. So let's do our part as a community, especially running. We don't want to see any fatality during this circuit breaker. We have too many fatalities already today. So maybe you want to hear a little bit from Naomi. I think you're on a call. I'm not sure you can hear us. Or...
Naomi, can hear me? Naomi? Naomi is probably still probably she can hear us, or they can't
She's
talk.
She's shy.
Maybe I just want to add a little bit, because this being circuit breaker periods, other than just people running and even more people running, avoid certain times so that you don't have crowd run into it. One of the good things that I observed during this circuit breaker period is people tend to be more friendlier to each other, and then they try to try to be more concerned. And if you see somebody without mask, remind the person, or maybe wear it wrongly. This is my observation. People are more friendlier to each other. Even myself, I would tend to, go out to the person and, point something. I think that is a good point in this CB period. We tend to be more cohesive right now than before. I'm not sure whether the rest can agree with me or not. Anyway.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
no, I mean, Colin, the reason why we are all here, we are being cohesive. I think it's about, connecting as a community, giving the right support to each other.
Yeah.
It's not easy for everyone. I guess it's a change. Those of you who have kids at home, I believe, are trying to struggle with work, with kids jumping around and screaming. Never easy. Those of you who needs to go for a long run or running groups like Stephen, it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy. But I guess the real thing is, like I say, that there were two outcomes that we get out of this coming from this team. It's either you get fit or you get fat, right? So you choose. You choose.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the runners, they will not get fat. They will still continue with their training. But the only worrying part is that they push themselves too much at this moment, and they get sick. Yeah. And it's not a good time to be sick, right? But for the rest of the majority, those who are starting out to exercise, I think progression is the word. Building blocks is you need to build one block at a time, so that you, at the end of the day, you have the whole building. All right, you can't just go out there and hit the road and run a marathon from zero to a full marathon. No way you can do that. You
can't do that. Yeah. You can't do that. You got to make stages. You can't be running a 42 kilometer. Otherwise, it's crazy, man.
So exactly. So for those who are starting out, it's best that to start like what Jenny suggested, 10-15 minutes, and then you build from there.
Yeah.
Then let's say today you run a 15 minutes, and you're supposed to run 3 times a week at least, and then the following run you try to increase by a little bit more, by 1 or 2 minutes more, and that's how you build slowly and get your body adapted to the whole activity.
Yeah, the good points are from Coach Stephen. Yeah, especially for beginners actually. Yeah, I think most of us here are actually quite seasoned runners. Runner counts actually bust into the scene also not very long ago. From very fat guy to a very fit guy right now. I mean, this is a great example of a guy who's improved leaps and bounds. Yeah.
So Runner Count, maybe share with me a bit of what keeps you going, or sorry, what keeps you running, right? And running every day. Because I think as a community in this space, it's our duty to keep people running after circuit breaker, right? I know when we are back into our work, in our day-to-day and stuff, wellness may not be the priority. It's very unfortunate that people actually work very hard in their space, but they neglect their health. I read a report about that in globally there's a rising inactivity level in the world. I think for more than 60% of the population will be inactive by 2025. That's really bizarre, right? 60% of the world is not going to move. It doesn't prefer to move. So something wrong. I think it's our duty of people that are here on this call to help 1, help 10, help 20, help 100 people to join the movement and get healthy, and together we can really enjoy life, right? So maybe maybe want to share. I don't know how much more time, Colin, we have, but I would like to hear, how do we keep running? How do we motivate people to run after circuit breaker? Because when we have lesser time, we wake up at 5 a.m. like Stephen. I think it's a bit tough, but yes, if we can, if we are motivated, we do. But if not, what's more important, a Netflix or 5K run?
But actually, if you ask me, I think like it does not have to be running. I think basically as I think if you just want to encourage people to get fit, the most important thing is to choose an activity that you are passionate about, whether it is running or cycling or yoga or basically anything that gets you out there and active. Because I think if the passion for the activity is there, then you will be determined to do it. But like, if someone does not even like running in the first place, then it's like they might keep up the habit for like 1 week, but after that, they're just going to quit. So I think the most important takeaway is choose a sport or an activity that you enjoy doing, and it will be easier to stick to a routine.
Okay.
Totally
Anything to add
agree.
on, Marcus?
For me, I think after the circuit breaker, I'm going to the beach and having fun there.
Okay, I think yeah. Okay, we have actually
you stay at home for quite a long time. It's quite stressful for everyone.
yeah. I think the key word we have to stay positive, no matter what. We have to prevail because we are SG United. Remember that. All right. So, Alvin, we are actually had spent some 40 minutes already, and it's so fast that the time flies. We actually scheduled for 30 minutes, so 10 minutes overrun. I think if we have nothing further to add on right now, I mean, it's a good exchange of information. I think thank you, guys and girls, for coming in and your time to share with us your experiences and all that. Okay, before we end off, we are all, of course, looking forward to the end of the CB period. All right. So in one sentence, I'll probably be going around from left to right, and say what do you intend to do in one quick sentence after the CB period. Perhaps we start with myself first. I'm putting myself first on the line here. Okay, what I'm going to do after the CB period? Well, I'm going to really go for running. Actually, I've not been running, I stay everything indoor. I just want to go outdoor to park connector and all that because I'm actually avoiding crowd. So this is the one thing I want to go out and run. That's what I intend to do. Okay, Alvin, yourself.
Wow, I tell you, at 12:01 on 2nd of June, I'm gonna jump in my swimming pool. Just jump in and swim. All right.
Marcus? For me, after circuit breaker, first thing I'm going to do is to do competitive running, and secondly, I'm going to focus on world champion for Lisa One. And lastly, I want to go to the gym. I'm going to the beach and swim again.
What about yourself, please?
Sorry, can I chop in?
Naomi, yes.
Now my phone is available. So your question is what we want to do after circuit breaker.
The first thing in one sentence.
Swim.
Swim, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Please.
I think I'll say because of this circuit breaker, the one thing I miss most is the social aspect of running. So after circuit breaker ends, if it's allowed, then I'll definitely go and meet up with my friends, do a group run together. And I think the second thing I would like to do is maybe go for a swim.
Runner cow? What's the first thing you do, man? Runner cow?
Okay, sorry, I don't like swimming, but I can't wait to go to events and record events. Please come back. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to most for events. Yeah.
Do you cycle or not?
Don't really. I tried to, but I just don't really enjoy the experience. But I still really love running too much to
running.
Just running. So yeah.
I think Hong Chang is Gloria, right? So what's your take, man, Gloria?
I think I will want to go to the beach. I'll go to Sentosa.
Yes, it's speaking my language.
I think next up for Eugene. Eugene, I think I answer for you. The first thing you want to do after CB period is throw your kids to the right? Childcare center, right? No,
confirm send the kids to the childcare, man. That's the first thing that you
I read your mind, actually.
It's crazy. The first thing that I will send all the kids go to school and all the childcare.
Okay. Eugene, do you know that Robert is actually the first male principal of a childcare school? So Robert, what's your take, man?
Actually, I pity all the parents. But it's also a good time for all the parents to rediscover their own kids. So because during the daytime it's a bit different from what you see the kids at nighttime. So now it's a discovery period for all the parents. But also, it's very
Robert,
hard
this
on them
one
also.
Very politically correct.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's really
There
hard
you go.
on them.
Yeah.
Rediscover the kids. I like that, man, Robert.
Rediscover.
Very good.
Okay.
Oh.
What about Joe? Joe got 2 kids also, 3 kids at home also. He also facing stress. Joe, what's your take, man? What's the first thing you want to do after TV?
Definitely to bring them out properly and go for a good cycle or a good run, get them
Yes.
out of the house safely. I think that's the important thing. Yeah, get them active too.
Okay. Next up, man, Steven. Besides hugging Jenny next, what's the next thing you want to do after TV?
Well, you know what? I my team. I want to meet up everyone to have a good meal and drink. I want a real man's drink together.
Hey, don't forget invite me, Steven. I join you for the.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay, I think I've not missed out anybody right so far. Huh? Oh, Jenny, yes.
Jenny.
Yes. Last but not least, Jenny, what's your first thing that you want to do after CV period? Hug Steven? That's beside the point.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll hug Steven. But honestly, I just want a massage. I don't know why anybody is not talking about a massage. I want a massage.
Hey, same thing.
Oh, my back has been killing me from sitting at home all day. So yeah, I want a massage.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why you had a massage gun.
Yeah, this one. This is good, man. Yeah, this is good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and I'm on the real
Oh, he
thing.
also had Marcus. Okay. Guys and girls, thanks for taking some of your time today, Wednesday. Tomorrow is Vesak Day. Well, we have taken about 40 over minutes just for discussion of this behind circuit breaking scene. We hope that we have another second informal discussion on this that lead up to Circuit Breaker Virtual Run 2020. All right. So if Alvin, you got anything to add on before we conclude this discussion?
No. I think it's. I want to just say thank you to all guys for being there in the community. It's really great to see everybody getting together. I see more and more people getting together in this period. So stay together, stay safe, stay home, and we'll get through this together. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Cheers.
We will prevail. We are Singapore, SG United.
All right. See.